Good afternoon, everyone. How's everybody doing? Come on. That's it. It's a pleasure to join you all here in Ottawa for the 123rd Annual AMO Conference, and I'm glad that we're able to hold this together in person. C'est avec grand plaisir que je me joins à vous tous ici à Ottawa à l'occasion de la 123e édition du Congrès annuel de AMO et je me réjouis que nous ayons pu nous réunir en personne. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. Great to be here in person. So before I begin, I want to take a moment to remember our colleague, Mayor John Grace. I was deeply saddened to hear that he passed away, and I know he will be missed dearly by all of us. Our thoughts are with the Grace family at this very difficult time, as well as the people of Goderich. I know everyone here feels the same as I do. John, rest in peace. So I'd like to begin by congratulating Colin Best, AMO's new president. Colin, I've told you this to your face. I look forward to working with you. Congratulations. And right beside you, I want to take this opportunity to thank Jamie McGarvey for his dedication and his hard work in the role as AMO president. Congrats. I also appreciate that you've got everybody together. I want to thank on the other side, Brian Rossborough. And I want to thank you, Brian. I want to do a shout out to the AMO board, all the staff who have gone to great lengths to organize this conference. So thank you so much for everything you're doing. So finally, I want to congratulate Monica Turner on her retirement after 12 years. Monica, stand up. Stand up, Monica. Monica, you've played an invaluable role advocating on behalf of AMO and all municipalities. We are truly grateful for your hard work and with your cooperation with our ministry over the years. We wish you all the best. AMO MOUs aren't going to be the same without you, Monica, so all the best in your retirement. So very shortly, I'm going to have the members of cabinet up here for the bear pit. I've got lots of my caucus colleagues in the audience. I'm sure that you've seen many familiar faces during the conference. There are going to be some new ones too. I'm pleased to welcome someone that you all know, our Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry, Graydon Smith. You know, as a former president of AMO, he was a champion for municipalities. We're so excited to have Graydon join our team, and he's just a wealth of information. So welcome, Graydon. Welcome, welcome. I'd also like to introduce my new colleagues at the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Michael Parsa, the Associate Minister of Housing, and Kevin Holland, my new parliamentary assistant. So Kevin's in the crowd here. I do have to tell you, I am so honored to be part of this exceptional team. It is a great privilege for me to continue as Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. And I want to give a special thank you to Premier Doug Ford for being such a strong leader over the years. Under his leadership, our government secured another mandate from the people to deliver on our plan to build Ontario. Thank you, Premier Ford. One thing our government knows is we can't do it alone. We need to continue to support municipalities and communities across the province. We need you to realize your full potential. People come together during tough times. We couldn't have made it this far without your hard work on the front lines. I want to thank each and every one of you for your ongoing partnership, your ongoing dedication to your communities. There is no doubt about it. We are stronger together. Il n'y a aucun doute, ensemble, nous sommes plus forts. Maintaining a close relationship with AMO and its members will continue to be critical as we recover and work towards boosting Ontario's economy. We're going to keep listening to you and asking for your insights and your advice. It's through partnership and collaboration that we're going to build a vibrant, more resilient Ontario for generations to come. Our government was re-elected with a strong mandate to help more Ontarians find a home that meets their needs and their budget. But Ontario cannot tackle the housing crisis on its own. Municipal councils play a crucial role in increasing housing supply. The Premier and I have been working very closely with municipalities to identify both opportunities and bold solutions that would help us effectively address the housing crisis. The message has been clear. Municipalities need the tools and flexibility to get shovels in the ground faster on priority projects, especially housing. In fact, over 1/3 of Ontario's growth over the next decade is expected to be in Toronto and right here in Ottawa. That's why our government introduced the legislation that would give the mayors of Toronto and Ottawa the ability to drive policy changes, select municipal department heads, and bring forward budgets. We want to empower our municipal partners to be able to get things done. That was just one concept that we want to implement. But we will continue to engage municipalities as we explore opportunities to effectively address our shared priorities. We're also working with our municipal partners to increase housing supply through our More Homes for Everyone plan. More Homes for Everyone outlines the next suite of concrete actions our government is taking to address Ontario's housing crisis, such as protecting homebuyers from unethical development practices and accelerating development timelines to get more homes built faster. Using the task force recommendations as a roadmap, we're committed to delivering a housing supply action plan every year over the next 4 years. We're also establishing a housing supply action plan implementation team that will work with municipalities, the federal government, partner ministries, industry, and associations to support improvements to our annual housing supply action plans. In fact, just last week, I announced that Mayor of Windsor, Drew Dilkins, will lead the implementation team as chair, with Cheryl Fort, Mayor of Horn-Payne, as the vice chair. We are also implementing a new tool, the Community Infrastructure and Housing Accelerator, that would empower municipalities to fast-track critical local projects like housing and long-term care homes. And on top of that, we've updated Ontario's building code to unlock housing, reduce barriers, and get all kinds of housing built faster. So for example, we made it easier to use innovative construction materials and techniques that can save time and money, and we're allowing more residents and commercial tenants to safely occupy the lower floors of super tall buildings like condominiums and rental buildings sooner. Municipal building departments can also design and they can administer their own internship programs to help develop a pipeline of new building officials to better support construction activity. We've worked closely with municipalities to ensure they have the tools they need to help address the housing crisis in their communities. Many municipalities are already using these tools and are successfully building homes faster. But we need all municipalities to do their part to provide people with access to housing that meets their needs. Our government will continue to work with you to keep costs down and deliver on our commitment to build 1.5 million homes to address the housing supply crisis. Our government's policies have delivered historic results in getting more housing built faster and complement our nearly $4.4 billion investments over the past 3 years. These investments will grow and enhance community and supportive housing for vulnerable Ontarians and Indigenous people, as well as addressing homelessness. We've gone above and beyond to support our municipal and Indigenous partners, but we need the federal government to step up and do their part. And as I've said before, solving the housing crisis is a long-term process that requires long-term commitment and collaboration between all levels of government. That's why when we got reelected in June, I met with my federal, provincial, and territorial colleagues to discuss housing and homelessness, identify opportunities to collaborate on solutions, and advocate for Ontario's fair share of federal funding. And you've heard me say this before. Ontario is currently being underfunded by approximately $490 million for housing and homelessness over the term of the National Housing Strategy, based on our province's level of core housing need, which we all know is the highest in the country. We need our municipal partners to stand shoulder to shoulder with us and urge the federal government to pay its fair share so we can continue working together to deliver supports and resources to vulnerable populations. We will continue to advocate for Ontario to ensure that federal funding programs align with our priorities and the needs of Ontarians. Our government also listened when municipalities told us just how important the Social Services Relief Fund has been to ensure they have the additional resources they need to support the most vulnerable. Ontario's total SSRF investment is over $1.2 billion, one of the biggest investments in affordable housing and homelessness supports in the province's history. This funding is helping municipal and Indigenous partners to build stable housing solutions, add to rent banks, and support staff and residents to respond to increased shelter demands. But we didn't stop there. After extensive consultation with the community housing sector, we introduced a new regulatory framework under the Community Housing Renewal Strategy to strengthen the system for those who live and work in it. We're investing an additional $25 million annually in our homelessness prevention program to help more people find the right housing and other supports, bringing the total annual investment to $464 million. We are providing $10 million annually to support Indigenous-led, culturally appropriate long-term housing solutions and the wraparound services for Indigenous people who are experiencing homelessness, and investing an additional $6.7 million in the Indigenous Supportive Housing Program in 2022-2023, bringing the total annual investment to $30 million. So by investing in supportive housing that is by and for Indigenous people, we are one step closer to building a better, brighter future for everyone who calls Ontario home. I think we all agree. It's a pretty easy room for me to say this. Local governments play a critical role in our communities. You provide the essential services that residents and businesses rely on. The past 3 years have shown all of us the importance for municipalities to have the tools and the flexibility they need to function effectively. That's why we're strengthening local governments by helping municipalities improve local service delivery. We've allocated up to $350 million this year to help municipalities identify and implement modern solutions through 3 funds: the Audit and Accountability Fund, the Municipal Modernization Program, and the Streamlined Development Approval Fund. Thanks to your innovative ideas, your participation, these programs have been tremendously successful. We're supporting over 940 projects in municipalities so that you can deliver more modern, efficient services. These programs are also helping municipalities unlock housing by streamlining, digitizing, and modernizing your approach to managing and approving applications for residential development. So I'll give you a few examples. Just southeast of here, the counties of Stormont, Dundas, and South Glengarry are working together to develop a one-window permit system which will speed up approvals. York Region is working to improve customer service and make it easier for stakeholders to share information online. They're also standardizing the application process for new residential and commercial applications. We also look forward to working with our partners in rural communities, including by carefully reviewing the Rural Ontario Municipal Association's recommendations on attainable housing and purpose-built rental accommodations. So thank you to Roma. those are just a few examples of how we're working with municipalities to deliver better, more modern services for the people of Ontario. And we'll continue working with municipalities to better meet local needs, increase housing supply, and make housing more affordable for hardworking Ontarians. I'd now like to note here Premier Ford's serious concern over a very disturbing trend affecting too many Ontario homebuyers. We've all seen recent media reports of canceled contracts for new homes, some for legitimate reasons, but others for clearly unethical ones. This is unfair, it's wrong, and we are actively working to stop it from happening again. Last November, the Premier vowed to stop developers from trying to unfairly make extra money off the backs of hardworking people. We unequivocally expect all builders to operate in a professional manner with fairness, honesty, and integrity towards consumers. And that's why our government strengthened the regulatory tools available to us to address this behavior, including in the new Home Construction Licensing Act and in the More Homes for Everyone Act. These measures include much heftier fines for builders who try to rip off home buyers, as well as enhancing powers so the Home Construction Regulatory Authority can proactively investigate potential bad behavior on the part of developers. On top of all that, we're protecting consumers by ensuring that deposits they put down for pre-construction condominiums are returned with interest at the Bank of Canada rate in case a project's cancelled. Taken together, these significant strengthened penalties and reparations could cost unlawful developers hundreds of thousands of dollars on a single home, as well as the loss of their builder's license. Moreover, these penalties are retroactive, which means developers who acted unethically prior to the regulations coming into force are still going to be held accountable. These measures, thank you. These measures will make any predatory builders think twice before trying to rip off the Ontario home buyer, and we are keeping a very close eye to ensure they have the attendant effect. Hardworking Ontarians can rest assured knowing that our government has their backs as they embark on their journey of home ownership. So I'll close by saying we know that collaboration with our municipal partners is key in building strong, thriving communities. I'm very proud of all that we've achieved together. With municipal elections coming this fall, I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every local leader in this room for your unwavering dedication and service to your community. I want to thank AMO and everyone here for your continued support and your continued partnership. Our government will continue working with you to build on our progress by building more housing faster, getting shovels in the ground on critical infrastructure, and creating good local jobs in all of our communities. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, miigwech.